I put my faith in you. They turn their backs on you. Man, I'm never going back. Man, I'm never going back. I put my faith in you. They turn their backs on you.
Hello, what's up? This is Rebel Ray, and this is
R. Collins.
And we are the host of Against All Odds podcast. We're shooting live from Stockton, California in R. Collins' personal studio. So shout out to you.
Yes.
So we have Mother's Day coming up. And our energy is a little different. And that's okay. As a Black therapist, I'm always talking about understanding the self, understanding your capacity and your limits, and being gentle with yourself. And in this moment, I want to be vulnerable with you. Both R. Collins and I are dealing with a loss. A pillar of our community has passed on to the great beyond, to be with her creator and her God in heaven.
Yes.
And we want to uplift her name, First Lady Nellie Stallworth.
Yes.
She was our First Lady, and she was my godmother, someone that I was very close to, someone that I acknowledge as a woman of faith, a woman of strength, a woman of ingenuity, a woman of passion. And so we're going to be talking about our mothers today. This weekend, this Sunday, we celebrate Mother's Day. And it's a day that we set aside for our mothers.
Yes.
And it's important. It is important to set aside that day to remember all mothers. But it's also important, and you all have to excuse me, I'm a little emotional. Just take a moment.
It's okay. It's it's definitely I don't know, it just feels like a very dark time, because those of you who know who we are speaking about will totally understand. It's a dark time for us. It is a time of joy and happiness for her because
she's with the Father.
She's with God,
She's with the Father.
And she is blessed right now. She is blessed. God has blessed her, and it really is bittersweet. It's, you want to see somebody blessed and going to be with God, but at the same time, you want to be selfish at the same time because you want to, you want that person around. You never realize that people come and people go. You always expect people to always be around, so sometimes it is very easy to take things for granted, people for granted. I'm gonna just be honest, and it is very, 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 it's a very hurtful thing, and for a lot of people that knew Sister Nellie. She was a very, very smart, intelligent, beautiful person. And you know, it really is. It's a difficult time. You know, there will be a vigil for her on Monday. Do we have time?
Yes, so we have. It's going to be a vigil at her home church. She loved New Beginnings Deliverance Center. Both Art Collins and I grew up in that ministry.
Yes.
We first found our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in that ministry, and we found deliverance in that ministry. And a lot of it came through Sister Nellie's teachings, her modeling, her love. And that's going to be at 2571 East Waterloo Road. That's in the city of Stockton. She is a Diocesan bishop of the Pentecostal of the Apostolic Faith, the PCAF. She is a first lady of a Diocesan bishop, Bishop Louis D. Stallworth Jr. And we're uplifting him in prayer right now.
Please, for those of us that know him, and even for those that don't, it is a very difficult thing to lose your wife, who you have been.
Only one wife. He's ever been with over 50 years.
Man, I mean, somebody you're waking up to time in and time out, day in and day out. And the reason why this is so important, you know, and you know, I lost my grandmother, okay? And the reason why this is important, my grandmother was special to me. But one thing about Sister Nellie is she was special to thousands of people. I mean, Sister Nellie made her mark wherever she went. She helped people. She always was looking out for the best interests of people, housing people, loving on people. It's really, like I said, it's a really difficult thing, you know, and somebody like that should be celebrated, needs to be celebrated.
And we're going to celebrate her. We're going to do it in a big way. I'm one of 4 of her godchildren. That's an honor to be her godchild. I have this purple orchid here today in remembrance of her. Purple was her latest favorite color. Her first favorite color was blue, actually. And so we're asking that all wear shades of blue and purple to the visual that we're going to be having on Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. And we're doing this in a way where we hold space. When someone has given so much of their life to the church, right? We often talk about the Black church. We often talk about what it takes to sacrifice of the Black church. And Sister Nellie Stallworth, First Lady Nellie Stallworth, and those that knew her understood what she did to sacrifice for the people of Christ and the church. I remember, you know, I was just telling, and shout out to my sister Carol Goodwin Clark. Shout out to Daniqua Hester for watching. Shout out to Mom Taylor, Loretta Taylor for watching. I was just having this conversation with Carol, and I was telling her, I learned the understanding of business, the understanding of hospitality.
She was big on that.
Come on now. She was big on that. Cooking, recipes.
She was big on that.
Listen, I know a lot of her recipes because I was there. I was right next to her. I loved her dearly. She was just something to behold. She was so funny. And even as she cooked with love. She put a little bit more sugar in there, Rachel. Mm-hmm. You know, don't pay attention to the butter. Right. I said, God, Mama, you supposed to put this much. Hush now. Don't talk about how much butter we putting in this recipe. Don't you tell nobody. And she always used the finest ingredients when she was serving the people.
Yes.
When she made her pies.
She put a lot of love into it.
Come on now.
A lot of love.
She put love, and she put harmony into the atmosphere wherever she went. And she trusted God with all of her might, with all of her heart, with all of her soul. And she was an epitome of an outstanding Black woman. She stayed faithful for over 50 years.
Faithful. Faithful, man. I'm telling you.
To one man. She never cheated. You know, my goddaddy and mama, they would fuss and fight, but they loved each other.
They sure did. They would go at it at times. I've seen them in action many times.
In such a good way.
Yeah.
In such a good way.
Yeah.
And we have to hold space, y'all. We have to keep her memory alive. This is what's going to help us through our grief. And I told Art Collins today, I said, you know, he asked me, he said, you know, do you want to counsel the show today? And I said, she was a businesswoman. Besides being a mother.
She did say that. I didn't know what to do.
Besides being a mother, besides being a pastor's wife, besides being a grandmother and a spiritual warfare queen and all of that, right?
Yes.
A warrior, a prayer warrior. She was a businesswoman. She was about her business. She took care of the church.
Yes.
She was she was the treasurer, She was the treasurer of the Pentecostal Apostolic Faith Council of Northern California for years. I don't even know how many years. I know it's over 40 years. She held that position faithfully. Showed up. Woman. She showed up every day to church.
And you know what? Just speaking on you saying she was a businesswoman and she wanted other people to be businesswomen.
That's right.
You know, I remember one time. Yeah, she would. She would encourage people, hey, get out there and get your money on. You know, I remember one time she had and this was all right, so it was back then, so you know the amount of pay what I'm gonna say, you know, was a little low. But in the 90s, you know, she had made a prayer call. You know, she said, anybody that want a job, for $10 an hour, come on, get in the line. Everybody rushed the line, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking like $10 an hour is cool, but you know, I got another prayer, right? So I'm waiting on my turn. As soon as I came up, she said, all right, Lord, bless Brother Roby, you know, to have a job at $10 an hour. I was like, no, Sis Nellie. I need you to put an anointing on me to be a CEO, one who is employing the people employing the people for $10 an hour.
Come on.
She just started. She busted out laughing. But she honored the faith. The faith that I had. She was like, wow. Brother Roby. She said, Brother Roby came up here and wanted prayer to be a CEO. Some of y'all asked for something else.
Expectations.
She said, and she anointed me. And I mean, I never forget it. She anointed me and asked God to bless me to be a CEO.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And
I
will be honest with you. Everybody watching, right? I can tell you with surety that God has blessed me abundantly more than I can ask for. I don't deserve it. You know, and I know that God is a God who honors prayers.
Yes.
And intercession
above all else. You know, we celebrating her. She was a powerful woman of God. That's right.
Mighty woman of God. She touched a lot of souls. Look, there was a time at New Beginnings, where I'm telling y'all, like,
we had revival.
Listen, revival was every day. So much unity.
On fire.
So much love. So much of everything. And Sister Nellie was the glue to it all. You hear me?
And she kept our bishop going.
She kept him going.
She kept my godfather going. And shout out to him and his diligent work that he's done for the community. He's touched a lot of lives. Sis Nellie was his backbone.
Definitely.
And we want to uplift him right now and hold him and say a prayer for him.
Please.
And I am emotional. And let me tell you, as a therapist, it's okay to have moments of grief. It's okay to recognize a loss. It's okay to understand your connectedness. And I've been with this organization, with New Beginnings Deliverance Center, before I was born. When I say I was born underneath the pulpit,
yes, you was.
I was born underneath the pulpit. First Lady Nellie Stallworth and Bishop Stallworth were right there at my mom and dad's wedding.
Speak.
Bishop Senior, along with Bishop Taylor, God rest their souls. They married my mother and father at a national convention in Arizona. And it was one of those biggest weddings, and it was so beautiful. And it was a true testament of God's power and love and how you bring people together. And I was born out of that. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed to proclaim that I was baptized in Jesus' name.
Speak that. Speak.
I received the Holy Ghost at New Beginnings Deliverance Center.
Speak.
That's tradition. That's something that's staying with me that I can give to my children. I was Christian with my godparents, and I have memories of that. And they love me like they own children. And it's hard. It's hard. I put my sign up tonight. I got this, God. I got this, God. Because a lot of times we're trying to figure out how we're going to handle some things, especially when grief hits, especially around these major holidays. It's hard for us. Let's talk about it.
Mother's Day
is,
Mother's Day is what? Sunday.
Yeah.
And to not have your mother on Mother's Day. I'm so thankful that, my mother is still here. Like, she's watching right now. She watches every week, and I love you, Mom. And I want every viewer to understand how important it is to love your parents and to love them, because
and to
honor them, because you never know when, we always think that we got that time with them. We always think that we got, another day. But one thing I can say in reference to Sister Nellie is that although she is not here with us presently
in the body,
I will tell you for a surety, I am confident that she is with God in the spirit.
Come on, hallelujah.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Hallelujah.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I know when she came in, the angels of God and everybody that she knew prior, that passed away, that went with God, was rejoicing when she came in. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I know that some are grieving. Some of you that don't know who she is, that follow this podcast, but those of you who do know who she is and know what type of woman she was, my condolences to the Stallworth family. I want you all to know that we love you here. We love you. We thinking about y'all. We praying for y'all.
Always.
The Hyder family, we love y'all. We praying for y'all. We lifting y'all up. April, Joy, Hope, Kim, Gary, Lewis. We love all y'all. And we praying for y'all. All the grandchildren. I know it's very difficult for you guys, and we are praying for y'all. We love you all. And we want to celebrate with you, even in your sorrow, even in all of our sorrow.
We have to uplift her.
We do.
And she wasn't just about cakes and pies. She can get a prayer. When I say a minister who understood spiritual warfare, she taught spiritual warfare. She taught the understanding of how to press down on the principalities.
Come on.
And go against those things, those forces of darkness that sometimes weigh us down and try to prevent us from our destinies, right? She talked about that.
Yeah.
She preached that, and she prayed against those principalities.
She didn't pray. Listen, there's been times I've had some strongholds on me.
Right. And she prayed for you when you was locked up, bro.
Listen, you know what? And I heard about her praying for me. And you know another thing about me being incarcerated? She would never, ever withhold her phone from me. I would always be able to call her. I would always be able to call the bishop. And they would always encourage me, always tell me, Roby, it's going to be all right. You just hang in there. There was not one day that I was able to call any of them. And they didn't look out for me.
And she, a lot of y'all might have said, she stuck by what she was learning to understand what God wanted. She stayed with that covenant with God. She never ceased. When I say she fast, she fast. When I say she prayed, she prayed. And she was that living sacrifice that we need to see from leaders. And she was a strong Black woman. When I say a strong Black woman.
Come on.
She held the family together.
Yes, come on.
The intercession by itself spoke volumes.
Yes.
And when we felt like we lost our path, we lost our way, she was there. She was there. And sometimes her words, they stuck you, but they stuck you in a way to manifest what you were supposed to be, not what you were in the moment. A lot of times we feel like we're lost, we're trash. She spoke those things into you. She spoke life. She said, you're supposed to be who you're supposed to be.
She spoke life into me.
All day long. She told me a lot of times, Rachel, you got a calling on your life. And I said, I know, God, Mama. I know. And we want to uplift her namesake today. We will be remiss if we didn't take this time on this podcast to uplift her name.
Definitely. She
was there. She was a great woman of God, but she was a good mother. She was a good grandmother.
Yeah.
She was
an example.
Listen, you go over now. I developed some bad habits going over her house. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I went into the kitchen. Mm-hmm. There was always some food in the refrigerator.
I'm not gonna lie.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I'm guilty. I would go in there. Hey, look. Forgive me, y'all. I'm gonna just be real too. I would go in there and I would. I was like, hey, who's?
And she had a way of fundraising for the church. She had a way of giving back, right? All of her talents.
Yes. But going back to what you said about the kitchen, right? She wasn't one of them type of mothers or first ladies that would tell you, what are you doing? It was like, no lie. Like
if she did, she would say, take the pie on the left.
Not on the right. I'm using
that for something else. Listen.
Hey.
You hear me?
Hey, no, for real.
And then all of it out of love.
Out of love, yeah.
Always a giving spirit. She ran a food bank. And she was always plugging people.
I went with her on a couple trips.
Come on now.
Look, you think
she had abundance because that was her belief system.
Mm-hmm.
She understood what the people needed.
Yeah.
And she was there for the people.
She was.
And we're uplifting her namesake today, along with all the beautiful mothers.
All the mothers. All you mothers out there.
Shout out to all the beautiful mothers.
I want you to know if we love you. If ain't nobody told you they love you, we love you.
We love you.
And you are special. You're somebody.
Yeah.
You got a lot of single mothers out there. You got a lot of mothers who are married who are single.
Yes.
You got a lot of mothers who are married and who are happy.
Yes.
We're talking to all of you. Every single mother out there, in whatever situation you are in, you are special.
Yes.
You are somebody. You are beautiful. And
you are loved.
You are.
And your children are your namesake. They are your legacy.
Yes, they are.
So no matter what these men do, I chunk, okay?
Wow.
Your children.
They're all the men, though. You know what I mean? I can't. All the men ain't bad. Some of them are. But all of them ain't. But
Oh, but your children love you and they are going to always uphold you. Shout out to our sister Carol Stallworth.
We love you, Sister Carol.
We love you, Sister Carol. We love you very much. Marquita, we love you. And happy Mother's Day to y'all.
And Marquita said her mom has been gone for 21 years.
Okay.
And, we just want to say, like, definitely condolences to you. I know that losing a mother is never easy.
Yeah.
It's not something that, years or 10 years or 15 years can take away.
Yeah.
So, we're definitely sensitive to that. And, we definitely celebrate with you in her legacy as well.
Yes. And we're gonna uplift you and we love you, Sister Marquita. You always tune in and we thank you for that. Shout out to my brother. This is my brother. I knew him before the womb. I'm his older sister, but I love him. Jason Martin. Shout out to Jason Martin. He's watching right now. Fellow social worker in the field doing that due diligence, but he has an awesome mother. Shout out to his sister Regina Martin. I've been knowing her since before the womb.
You gotta
come on now.
Come on. Mom is a beautiful person.
That part.
Real beautiful person.
Yes.
So happy Mother's Day
to
Mrs. Regina too. So
so we're all, we've lost a pillar. We lost a matriarch in the flesh, in the present form of this body. She is with us in spirit. She's here now.
And you know what? It just seems unreal. Like it doesn't. Like, it's not settling in.
Yeah.
It just seems like.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. It's
not. It's not. But let me tell you why. It's a shock, and that's how grief works. There's 5 fundamental stages of grief. They found 8 so far. But 5 is what we actually see in therapy. A lot of it is anger, remorse, or guilt. Sometimes you have survival guilt. And, I wish I could have seen her more. This pandemic put a barrier in between our ability to connect with loved ones. So first, be gentle with yourself. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Be gentle with yourself. I wasn't able to see my godmother before she passed. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm struggling with that. And this is my point to be vulnerable with you. As a professional, I'm struggling with that. Okay? So if you don't have a loved one that's no longer here, she's a mother and Mother's Day is coming around and you're feeling that deepness and that sorrow, make sure you reach out to someone. Make sure you get prayer. You get in touch with your therapist. Get in touch with a minister that you trust, that you can be able to talk about and process what's going on in your heart.
Yeah.
It's needed right now.
Going back to this vigil, the vigil for this amazing woman who we call Sister Nellie is going to be on Monday from 6 to 8. And if you were a member of New Beginnings, a current member, a member of Strong Tower, because we don't even talk about that, her
extended family at Greater Christ Temple
and her
Church.
Extended family at Greater Christ
Zion, her extended family at Zion.
We need to see you there.
Church.
We need to see you at the vigil to celebrate her, because she was just not an ordinary woman.
She wasn't.
Her life here has touched so many.
Yes.
So many, not just mine. So many lives, man. Like, and look, I'm not just telling y'all, from just speaking. I'm not just talking right now. People that know me, I don't just talk. I don't just, spend my time speaking about people or things that I don't have experience with. I have a lot of experience with this woman, this beautiful woman of God. And I've seen her time in and time out, since I came to New Beginnings at the age of 14. And a lot of people don't know that I was actually going to Strong Tower off and on with my cousin Judy. She would pick me up.
Wow.
And take me to Strong Tower.
Wow.
I was baptized in Strong Tower.
You old.
I am.
You old.
I'm there.
Because I was born out of Strong Tower, and then we went back to the temple. But
yeah,
wow,
my cousin Judy would pick me up and take us to Strong Tower, and I was baptized at 5 years old at Strong Tower by Minister Hyder.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was. You see, people don't know that. I don't share that part.
That's big.
Yeah, and so even shout out to my cousin Judy. She's a beautiful person. My cousin Alice.
Yes,
my cousin
her
Diane.
husband. That was her brother.
Elder
Harold Hyder.
Elder Harold Hyder is Sister Nellie's brother, and we love you too.
We love you.
If any of his children are watching, I saw that Samuel had tuned in. I don't know if he's still tuning in, Samuel. Please let your father know. And I definitely I'm going to be reaching out to him as well. But let him know that we love him.
Yes.
And we're praying for him.
Yes.
Because it is never an easy thing to lose a sister. Please, y'all. And please pray for them. Pray for all of them. But I want you guys to most importantly pray for Bishop Louis Stallworth.
Yes, please. Junior.
Please pray for him. Pray. We need round the clock prayer for him. Me included. I need to.
Intercessors.
I will be praying.
Prayers up.
Have been praying. Okay? Because I know what she meant to him. Not only to all of us, but what she meant to him. Pray for him, please. I grew up in New Beginnings. New Beginnings is my home. New Beginnings is where I was baptized.
It was a home to a lot of people.
New Beginnings is where I grew.
Yeah.
New Beginnings is where I became a man. New Beginnings is where I found God. I remember, and a shout out to Sister Helen. Happy Mother's Day to you. We love you.
Happy Mother's Day, Sister Helen.
I
love you.
I remember coming to the church on a 3-day fast, right? Well, I wasn't on a 3-day fast. The church was on a 3-day fast, okay? Sister Nellie, she was on the mic. So, all right, let me rewind, right? So there was a 3-day fast. This is how I got saved, y'all. I'm going to just tell the story. So, I was this bad little kid, really didn't believe in God, just going around the neighborhood, robbing houses, doing whatever I was doing. Yeah, I was bad.
Lord Jesus.
I was
robbing houses.
I was robbing houses. I was robbing houses. I'm being honest, right? Would have robbed you if you would have gave me the opportunity. I'm the transparent person I gotta be, because there may be somebody I can help with my story, right?
Be transparent.
So I went to the church, and I thought I was just going to the church just to post up for a little bit. I come to find out it was a 3-day shut-in with a 3-day fast, right?
Hit you.
Look, yeah, I'm like, what's going on here? So I see a bunch of young people praising God, on fire, running around the church. I'm like, what is going on? What is this? I had never seen nothing like that in my life. You see what I'm saying? Now, mind you, this was my first time at New Beginnings. I had been at Strong Tower, but this was my first time at New Beginnings.
Now, was you with us on Minor Street, or did you come to Waterloo? You know what I'm saying? Because I was there for the whole thing.
I was on Waterloo.
I'm a true newbie.
When the church was faced this way.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Wow.
So that's when I came, when the church was faced this way and not this way. So
it was faced on the south side.
Right.
And it wasn't
with the bakery ovens.
It wasn't faced on the east side.
Remember the bakery ovens behind the wall?
Come on now.
I got a story about that too.
Y'all know nothing about it.
There was a 3-day shut-in, 3-day fast. And guess who was on the mic? Sister Nellie.
Sister Nellie.
On the mic, praying hard, right? Look, and I'm in there, everybody, Lord Jesus, Lord, and so in my mind, I don't know what's going on. I'm just ready to go. I'm like, wow, I thought this was a church service. I'm like, and I was really bothered in my spirit, right? So then I was real bothered. I ain't lying. I was like, this is not what I came here for. And I really didn't want to go, but somebody they kept bothering me to go, and I just went, right? And I'm happy they did. But so they said we want to put people in this chair, right? And we want to pray. Remember the chair?
I remember the chair. Right. So when she got to go in it and warfare in the spirit.
Hey, hit you so hard you fall all the way back.
And you know she had
really
a southern drawl.
Listen, yes.
In that name of Jesus.
Yes, she would.
Come on now.
So now I got these heavy hitters. I got Sister Nellie, Sister Helen, Elder Camel.
Where was Sister Doris?
Sister Teresa. It was like they was all surrounding me. Teresa. Who else was surrounding me? But they almost forced me to get in the seat. So I'm sitting in the seat, right? Look, no lie, this is all I remember. And look, we gotta have comedy because Sister Nellie,
we gotta have. She loved to smile.
She loved to smile.
And she had loved to giggle.
If y'all know, she had them beautiful dimples. You know, whether she was talking or smiling, they would just never go away. So anyway, so I'm sitting in the seat. Next thing you know, it just caught me off guard, y'all. Right? Like I didn't know. I had never been prayed for like this before in my life. Right? So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking they just gonna pray and keep the head. Next thing I know, pow, I almost fell back, right? Lord gee, my head is going all kinds of different ways. I'm listen, y'all. Let me tell you what I did. Like I literally started laughing. I bust out laughing. It was the funniest thing I ever seen in my life, and they were so serious, right? and look, and
she took that as a challenge.
She took it as a challenge.
She took that as a challenge.
Because listen, I was broken. I was broken at that time. I was a little kid broken. And there's a lot to my story. You know what I'm saying? And I was broken, right? But I laughed. So then I was kind of stuck there because I didn't have a ride home. I stayed all the way out north. And the person who brought me there was just like, oh man, we ain't going nowhere, right? And I'm like, I was mad. I'm trying to call my mom, and mom was still at work. And now my mom, she worked driving trucks. She drive cross country and stuff. So I was stuck, right? So or walk, you know what I mean? So I'm there, and I'm seeing people running around. Now I'm starting to get curious, right? I'm like, okay, what is this? And I know this is I'm trying to make it as quick as possible, right? So Sister Nellie back on the mic, everybody on their knees, right? Crying out to God. And I'm like, what is it these people got like
Come
that?
on now.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
So then I started getting curious, and I'm like, have me talking to God, like, if there is a God, whatever your name is, like,
faith had kind of been forsaken.
And I didn't really understand who God was. I didn't even know how to pray. I was just like, Lordy, if you're real, I want to know what this is. If it ain't, I'm leaving. I said, they speaking this language and all this and doing all that. I said, if it ain't real, I am leaving.
That's speaking in tongues, y'all.
I said, I'm walking home. I don't care. I'm not going to be here no more. So Sister Helen took me in the prayer room and started praying on me, right?
I remember the prayer room.
Yes. Do you remember the prayer room?
Woo.
Man, that prayer room saved a lot of people.
Saved a lot.
You know what I mean? There was anointing in that prayer room. Look, so Sister Helen started praying on me, right? Nothing happened. I was mad. I was like, y'all lying, right? I'm sitting here like, y'all playing games. I started getting mad. Then Sister Helen, she told me, just pray for yourself. I want you to get down there and I want you to talk to God. So I was like, this is the last thing I'm going to do, right? Long story short, I was in the prayer room. Listen, it was packed. It was people all over in the prayer room praying. People all on the altar. Sister Nellie crying out to God, leading everybody, right? I'm face down. And I remember going into like this deep subconsciousness where I was just started saying like, God, if you're real, give me this Holy Ghost that they talking about.
Wow.
Because I said, I'm going to leave if you don't.
Wow.
I promise this is how I was talking, right? And I promise y'all, nobody laid hands on me. Nobody, look, I just felt like almost like how they say in at Pentecost, like a rushing mighty wind. And it just came over me. I started speaking in tongues. Listen, y'all, I ain't never felt like that in my life. I felt like Superman.
Come on.
I felt like I was able to hop over buildings. I felt like listen, I'm telling you, I came out of that thing like I didn't, listen.
Hey, let me tell you something. She used to come and get me because, I don't believe in doing all that rolling and all that shouting and stuff, man. Listen, I don't believe in doing all that stuff. Sister Nellie get a hold of me. She's like, oh, lay them hands on her, start speaking in tongues. Boom! Fell back to the floor. The anointing of power of God come over you.
She knew how
you don't know what to do. She was a catalyst. She was used by God.
She was used by God in a very and listen, there's certain people that I was just reading a verse last night that kind of stuck out to me about Isaac and King Abimelech. King Abimelech was like, it is clear that God is with you.
Yes.
So look, I need to make some sort of a covenant with you that, we've been good to you. We want you to be good to me. But I bring that up to say this. It was clear that God was with her. You can see it on her. You can smell it on her. It was clear that God was with her. And listen, let me tell you, just not only off visual, when she would lay her hands on you, and even if she didn't lay her hands on you, you would feel things just coming off you, breaking off you. There were so many times.
When I say she was an intercessor, she was a true intercessor.
She was.
And God would give her things in her spirit, and then would give her things in her dreams to be able to minister to you.
Yeah.
But we talked about the spiritual. Let's talk about that natural.
Right? Let's talk about the comedy, though. Can we talk about the comedy? Hey, because look, y'all who know Sister Nellie know she is comical. Okay. She is. Hey, look, I got to tell y'all this story.
Her laugh was contagious. Her laugh was contagus. And, I want to go back to those recipes because, I said, God, Mom, this look like too much butter. She said, She said, my son. She said, she said, don't pay attention to that. You put that in there and don't pay attention to any of that. I said, I don't know about all this butter in this pie. But when I tell you she had a mean pie,
man,
she had a mean peach cobbler.
Screaming.
She had a mean cherry pie.
Screaming.
Come on now.
Listen.
Don't pair it with no ice cream. You can eat it by itself. You hear what I'm saying? And she taught us hospitality.
She would be in that kitchen teaching all the sisters
she taught us
how to cook, how to, man.
Now let me tell you something. A lot of people look at me as Rebel, the Rebel, right? Rebel Ray.
You a little rebel.
I'm a little rebel. I am. And she loved me, though. She loved me. She knew I was my own person. She knew I questioned things. And she knew, not out of disrespect, but she knew who I was as a person. And she loved me still. She catered
That's what I loved about her.
She catered to who I needed to be as a woman.
Come on.
And she taught me some things. And she taught me how to set a table.
Come on. Come on.
I'm domesticated, y'all.
And she's setting tables to this day now.
Come on now.
But go ahead.
Y'all may not think I'm domesticated, but she told me the difference between fine china and what to put out for certain guests. She was schooled in a way where she was able to give knowledge if you were able to listen.
Yeah, come on.
And she was good with $1. When I tell you she could break $1 down and she could feed a nation with $1.
Come on.
I'm telling you, she had the gift that Jesus did when he broke the loaves and the fishes.
Come on.
And fed the many.
Yes.
She did that. She had that gifting.
Yes.
And I want to uplift that because she instilled that in me. And some of those same things I'm able to put in my businesses. I'm a business owner of 4 businesses. And I'm able to take the teachings of Sister Nellie Stallworth and reiterate that in my life. The way she walked as a woman.
Yes,
I could never fill her shoes, but the teachings that she taught me as a child, being around her home, and she told it like it was. I remember one time she
tell it like it is.
She got to preaching, and she said, "Some of y'all ain't no good." She said, "My goddaughter Rachel can out clean and organize a house more than y'all grown women." And I must have see. But I loved her for that because she loved me and she covered me. Even when I was confused about myself, my sacred calling. She knew who I was. She knew that I had a calling over my life, and she continued to always pray for me.
And you do, and you still do.
Yes.
You still do.
All day long.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of her loved ones watching right now. Y'all want to give her a shout out.
Yeah, if you want to give her some hearts,
give her some hearts. Give her a shout out. We love her.
We love her more than like, and we love the Stallworth family. We love the Hyder family. We love you guys. We do. I grew up on the east side. I grew up around everybody. And I don't know. I can honestly just speak for myself. Like the love that I received, that just kind of changed who I was. It changed who I was as a person, changed who I was as an individual. And like you said, some of the things that she showed you, like there's a lot of principles she taught us men too. I'm gonna be real, like she didn't play with us. If there was times that certain place I was staying, she'd be like, y'all need to get up and mow the lawn. Y'all need to go watch it. Like, she was a mother for all. She was a mother for all, and she wanted us to grow. She wanted us to grow. Any way possible, she loved to build. And there was so many times she would just secretly give and not try to put herself out there. She would
definitely plug in pockets and sowing seeds.
She was sowing a lot of seeds.
A lot of people didn't know that she would do it in secrecy, because it was only between her and God and that person was sowing that seed of love in.
Yep.
A lot of times people's lights were off. She went ahead and did that, whether it be out of her pocket.
Come on.
She plugged them with groceries. You know what I'm saying?
What?
A lot of people didn't understand that.
Many times over.
And she did a lot of things without the notoriety that some first ladies have.
She played the background, but yet made an impact on the foreground.
Always.
She made such an impact and played the background. She wasn't looking for, a pat on the back. She just kept going. Let's talk about her.
Even in her later years.
Yeah.
She kept going. She never put on anybody what she was going through in her body.
Do you want me to tell you something? Yeah. I did not know Sister Nellie was the age she was. She has looked the same to me. I'm gonna just be real, just in my opinion. Like, she has looked the same to me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm not even lying. Like, I had no idea she was that age, and it's a blessing that she was able
to give us the years that she did.
She got to see her grandchildren,
great-grandchildren,
her great-grandchildren. She got to see so much, and she got to be a blessing to many.
And so we want to uplift her, and we want to uplift all the mothers. And the ones that are here in spirit. They're no longer here in the body, but they are with us in spirit.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, Sister Nellie is dancing.
She dancing.
That was one thing she liked to do in the spirit.
Yeah.
She had that.
She had that. But you got it down pat.
In the spirit.
You got it down pat. And she would have a hairnet on that time. What y'all know about the hairnet with the hat on top?
Let me tell you something. And all her fanciness, she was a woman.
She was
to the T.
100% woman.
Was 100% woman. She was the most daintiest person that you could know.
Yeah.
And to actually grow up with all them boys that she grew up with. Herself, she was a PK's kid, and she understand the pressure that it was to be a PK's kid. But she married a pastor that later on became a bishop.
Yeah.
So she understood her calling. She understood who she needed to be in life and who she was to us. And we honor her namesake.
We honor her. And I just want to take the time to honor my mother's mother. Again, my grandmother meant the world to me. She was everything.
Call her
to
name
me.
out.
Rosetta Weaver, meant the world to me. Grandma, I love you. I love you more than you know. I miss you, and I know that heaven has a place for you as well. And I look forward to the day. And this is why every day I'm trying to make myself better. I got so many flaws, but there's so many things that I'm getting better every day. And I repent. I'm gonna just tell you, every day I'm repenting. Every day I'm working on Roby. Every day I'm working on me. I'm, trying to take out what's not right. And we all should be doing this, so that I can see Sister Nellie again. So I can see my grandmother again.
Yes.
We want to be where they are at.
Yes.
Make sure that you are loving on people. Because without love, you're not going to make it.
Yes.
God is the source of love. He is love. And if you are outside of love at any moment, you're outside of God.
Yes.
Please be mindful of this. Please, don't give people their flowers and wait until, times like this, y'all.
You call them up. Y'all call them up. And now I'm gonna get to the therapeutic part.
Mm-hmm.
If you're done.
No, yeah, go
ahead. If you're struggling, it's okay to reach out. You don't have to struggle by yourself. With this digital divide that we've had through this pandemic, it makes loss even more hurtful. It feels deeper.
Yeah.
A lot of you all may be dealing with survival guilt, that you didn't go and see your loved ones, your mother, your grandmothers, your aunties, and they might have passed on to the great beyond. Reach out to somebody. Don't just sit with that guilt. Don't sit with that guilt. To those New Beginnings Deliverance Center, Strong Tower, Greater Christ Temple, Stallworth family, Zion family, let's come together. Let's love on one another. Put our differences aside. Because right now we lost a pillar and a matriarch.
Yes.
Okay. And the family, the immediate family in itself, needs our support and our love.
Yeah.
Again, the visual for Mother Nellie Stallworth will be on Monday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We plan to do a balloon release and have loving remarks of what she meant to us. It's important that we keep our ancestors' lives and their testaments of what they did, of love in our lives, alive. It's important that we tell their stories, that we remember them in a good way, and that we hold space. That is part of the grieving process, and that's okay. That's okay to have that, and be one. For those that do have your mothers here in the present, and body, spirit, and mind, take advantage of this opportunity this coming Sunday. If they want to go to church, they want to go to dinner, you want to go pamper them in some kind of way, take your time to do that. You're never too busy for them. They birthed you. They travailed in the spirit and also in the natural to birth you and push you through. And those that were raised by their grandmother, that takes an even larger cause and a larger heart to do.
Come on.
And so we uplift our women. We uplift our mothers. Childbirth in itself is dangerous.
It is.
Especially for Black women, the mortality rates of Black women are larger and greater than any counterpart that they're facing. And so when we go to birth you and we go to travail and lift you up and give you back to God, the most you could do is check on us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Check on your loved ones. Humble yourself. You got an ought against your mama. You ain't talking with your mama. Your mama birthed you. If your mama did some wrong in her life, give it to God. Be able to try to establish some type of relationship. Try to salvage something.
Yes.
that you can have with her. It's important for the self, because we come from that. We come from our mothers. For those that don't know their mothers, you can always offer a prayer up for your mother, your biological mother. And these holidays, they're hard.
Yeah.
Some are in celebratory mode, and some are in grief mode.
Yes.
But we need to be cognizant of our brother and our sister.
We need to. It's very important during this time. It's difficult because, like I said, we're going through the time of COVID, which already separates everybody. I think that, like, just piggybacking off what you said, and I'm speaking directly to those of the NBDC family specifically. If you got an odd against somebody, lay that to the side. If you got, an issue with somebody hurt you, somebody said something, somebody, didn't treat you right, or whatever you feel, let it go.
Let that go.
You're not freeing them, you're freeing you.
Walk in your healing.
Walk in your healing.
Profess it.
Free yourself.
Yes.
We lost a pillar. Let's all come together and love each other. There was a time where the love was so strong. God is not mocked. Believe me. The devil throughout the years has he has thought he has won a bunch of little victories, right? But I'm gonna just tell you right now, God is not mocked. God is going to win the war. And I'm asking all of you,
come together.
to come together.
Come on.
Again.
Come on.
If you got an issue, call that person.
Yep.
Talk to that person. Cause see, sometimes, some of us we get so angry. And then what happens is we replay certain things over and over. Well, this person hurt me.
This person said this.
This person said this, and guess what? You like that hamster that's hopping on the wheel. He ain't going nowhere.
But he's just going. Take you nowhere.
You just going.
Yeah.
You like that car spinning its wheels in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going anywhere. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're causing yourself more pain and grief.
Yes.
And you're injecting poison into your bloodstream, and you don't even know it. Your body is doing this
because you want to hold on to that.
This stuff is very harmful. Free yourself.
Free yourself and pursue your healing. I want to give a shout out to my god brother. He is my god brother. He was also ordained and given to First Lady Nellie Stallworth and Bishop as their godson, godchild, Jefferson Strickland. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
I love you, Pip.
Love you,
and this loss hits different on different levels.
This right here is where we need to all wake up, because a lot of us have been in the spell, including me, and we all need to wake up and you know what, come together and love each other and really, really celebrate. And this is hard, man.
It's hard. It's hard to put it into words.
It is a very hard thing, man. I also want to give a shout out to Freddie Garcia, who is watching. He was my cellmate in prison. Being open with you guys. I want you to know, Freddie, I'm proud of you, man. I've been watching you. He's been out. He changed his life. He's been doing better. And I just want.
We gotta have him on the show to tell us story.
Yeah, definitely, because he did almost 20 years in prison.
Wow.
And
we would consider. Did he have a life sentence? We would consider that as a life sentence.
Yeah, man, that's. Man, definitely. But he's doing carpentry work. He's doing really good. He's, and proud of you, man. And just wanted to, because I haven't seen him come on the show yet, and I just wanted to say that. I know we're talking about mothers, but
Shout out to him.
Yeah, I just wanted to give that shout out. But
when we go to bury our mother, I want you all to be cognizant. She would want us to stand in strength and unity.
Yeah.
And she would want us to wear our finest threads because she was a sharp.
She was a
woman. She dressed.
She was a dresser. You hear me?
My godmother was a dresser.
I'm not talking about the dresser drawer. I'm talking about a dresser.
From head to toe.
From head to toe.
And so you come in your finest threads. We are going to uplift the family. We're going to put her away right. And we're going to trust in God. You know, we got to get out of the way so God can lead us. And in this moment, we need God to lead us. Again, it was a pillar. It's amazing, even God's strength for me and our Collins to be sitting here talking with you. We love Sister Nellie very dearly, like most of you did. And she played different roles in all of our lives.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wasn't even going to do the show tonight because Rebel told me, she said, no, we have to
honor her.
And I just I don't know. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know, but I'm happy we did. And I'm happy we are here honoring her because she deserves that.
She deserves all of that.
She deserves that and more. She deserves our attention right now.
And this surreal feeling that you're feeling, that's a part of the grief cycle. So let me normalize that as a Black therapist. Let me give you a little psychoeducation. The numbing that we feel, the grief that we feel, the survivor guilt, the on and off thoughts of the memories and us crying, that is normal when you're grieving someone, when you're grieving loss. Be gentle with yourself. Check in with one another. Don't be afraid that you'll be dismissed. That person may not have the capacity to contemplate or understand what's going on with them. Be gentle.
Be gentle. And if you know the family, give them a text, give them a call. Just all that stuff matters.
Bring food.
We
heal through food. Black folks,
we love food.
People of color, we heal through food.
We cry.
Do not deny that.
We laugh. We smile.
Come on.
Eating chicken and eating whatever.
Bring a bucket of chicken. We like Winco chicken.
I eat me some Winco chicken. Come on,
but this is hard. It's a hard one, and our energy is not as up as it usually is, and that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna show up every day because she showed up every day.
She showed up.
She fought to the end, y'all.
One thing I appreciated most? There was times where she may have not even been feeling
in
well.
Her body.
She may have been hurting, or she may have been, and she would still come through and help other people.
Yeah. And I want to shout out to her kids. I can say this because I'm the God sister, and I'm gonna say it. Her kids sacrificed a lot. They shared their mama.
Yeah.
They shared their mama with y'all. And that in itself can be nerve-wracking. It can get on your nerves.
Yeah, it can be.
To always have your mama at the church house or someone calling them to work out problems. And so the PK's kids and the children of ministers give a lot up. And they have to share their mother with all of us.
Yes.
And so we have to pray for them. We have to show.
We got to uplift them.
We got to show up and we got to support. Putting differences aside. Anything that besets you.
Lay it down.
Let love lead you this week.
And you know what? Just adding on to what you're saying, Rachel. You have to let love lead you because tomorrow's not promised, y'all. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow is not promised. And if, when is it going to stop? Like, it has to stop somewhere. And you know what it is? And I got to get a little deep because I have to get a little deep. When we are allowing things to destroy us because of things said, because of posts made, because of facial reactions.
That's petty, y'all.
Because of, and it may not be petty to that person,
right?
But I will tell you this, and I'm not taking away the fact that you were hurt. I'm not taking the fact of the fact that, you know, there may have been something said that may have struck you deep. But think about this for a minute. Jesus was on the cross. Okay? He was hanging up there on the cross with the creation that he created. Talking about it, laughing at it. Take yourself off the cross. Saying all manner of things. Unless you take up your cross in love, you will never make it. You will never make it.
You know the story I like? I like the fact that he knew Judas was going to betray him.
Oh, come on.
Judas was his disciple. Okay? One of his followers. And he allowed Judas to kiss him on the cheek, knowing that he was going to betray him by dawn. Okay? Now just take that for a lesson. Even in praying in the garden of gas, it was Gethsemane. I can never say that word. In the garden, he knew that he still had to give his life up, his life source up. And he prayed that the cup be taken away from him. Y'all.
But he went in love. You know, and the Bible says we are all as filthy rags. So whether somebody said or did something, just know that none of us are any better than the other person. I can't be any more righteous than you. Also, think about the story of the woman who was caught in the very act of adultery. And all those people, those accusers, wanted to bring her before Jesus to accuse her in front of him.
But what did Jesus do?
He didn't say nothing at first. He just sat there and just started writing in the ground. Then Jesus said, let him who is without sin.
Oh, come on.
Cast the first stone.
Come on now.
See, a lot of us got stones that we want to cast, right? When we don't understand that we are filthy rags ourselves. The stones, there's another story, and I have to go deep with this. There was a king, it talks about in the Bible, who forgave his servant. But the same servant went to one of his fellow brethren that owed him a debt and choked him. The king found out, and he said, look, I forgave you of your debt, but you went to your brother and you didn't forgive him of his. The king put him in prison. So let me tell you what that's a reflection of. We talk about everybody else, right? And it may be that everybody is throwing stones at you. It may be that everybody is, you're the victim, because we all feel like the victim. At some time or another, all of us have felt like the victim. But let me explain something to you. Just as much as we have felt like the victim, we have to understand that we have a big God up there who sees the filth in our heart. So when we are throwing these stones, destroying that person or whoever it is, because we feel like we are justified to throw stones, and you may even be justified. But remember that all of sin have fallen short of the glory of God. So there's no justification for you throwing anything. You may feel like you're justified, but there is no justification. Because guess what? If God forgives you every day for the evil that you think in your heart, and none of y'all can't tell me that you don't think evil in your heart sometime throughout the day, guess what? You got to forgive. I'm speaking to myself too. I'm preaching to the choir.
Listen. Come on now. It's against all odds. We're going to give it to you straight. And all of what R. Collins said, hurt people. So you could choose to be a healed person and walk in your healing. Remember, and we're going to end on this. I got this. Remove yourself Let your creator, who knows every count of hair on your head, let him handle it. Let him handle it.
Give it to him.
Give it to him.
Free yourself.
Free yourself. Walk in your healing. Walk in your power. Walk in your anointing. And
Change
walk in
the
your
narrative.
sacred purpose.
Because you will never grow to be the person that God wants you to be, to empower you to be, as long as you are holding on to things that are putting you in prison, mentally and physically.
Come on.
So again, we are having a vigil on Monday from 6 to 8 for the beautiful Mother Nellie Stallworth,
First Lady.
First Lady of New Beginnings Deliverance Center. We love you all, and we want to see you there.
We want to see you there. And we know it's COVID. Y'all wear your mask, your social distance, whatever it is. If you need to give a hug, we got hugs. If you need to give an elbow, you need to give an elbow. Yeah. But
you need to talk,
reach out. You need to talk.
You need to cry.
Come on. We love you all, and we're all gonna make it through this. It is a hurtful time. She knew and was known nationally. She had been in the organization for over 50 years in the PCAF, and that is a national organization, the Pentecostal Churches of the Apostolic Faith. We love her, and
we love you. We love all the mothers.
We love all the mothers
that are out there. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to me.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you again. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there. If you ain't got a happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day to you. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit that little bell so that when we come on, we can just, you can get us, and you can hear what we got to say, because we trying to give you some real stuff, and we trying to give you some positive stuff. We want, every week we got something new.
Tune in next week. We have a astounding anointed author that will be coming and joining us, and we also have a treat for you to share with you about your health and wellness.
Yes.
On next week, and so. Please tune in, share, like, put the notification bell in there. We're on YouTube and soon to be on other social media platforms. We love you, and God bless you on this evening.
God bless you. God bless you all.